What up? Your boy is back in the building again. All right, putting out these shows, putting out this material. Again, this is my show, my opinion. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Um, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a dislike, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs up, thumbs down. Either one. But let me know why I get the thumbs down. Let me know why I get the thumbs up. Hey, either way, trying to make it better, doing it for the people. I'm having fun doing it for the people. That's who it's for, baby. But I'm expressing my opinion, all right? It's your man, Gypsy Hustle, a.k.a. the Happy Hatter, a.k.a. Mr. Make You Smile, because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's my job, make people smile. Madness going on in this world today. So here we go. Let's start it off like this. All right, my man, Saquon Barkley, stood up and said, well, I don't know if he stood up or not, but he came out and said that he was in support of Colin Kaepernick. He don't care if he lose fans. And I think that's great. What Colin Kaepernick did was not wrong, standing up for injustice and things, police brutality, which happens. Nobody's perfect, but when you're wrong, you need to recognize that. You want everybody else to recognize when they're wrong. Sometimes police officers are wrong too. I have friends that are police officers, and I talk to them privately, but they can't come out and say certain things, which I find to be a shame because if one of your coworkers is wrong, you should be able to call them out, and we should be able to work together to fix the problem. But it seems like you could talk about everything other than racial injustice. I'm gonna leave that there. I ain't gonna get too deep involved into that, but you know what I'm saying. For those that can read through the lines, read through the lines. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you about my hat. Okay, old school Kango baseball hat. No, y'all ain't seen this kind of Kango. I know you ain't seen it. Because I actually dug in the back of my closet to try to find it. So I know you ain't seen it. It had some dust on it too. But yeah, so salute to Saquon Barkley for coming out and saying that. Salute, my man. All right. So the next thing, all right, my man Will Flores. Well, no, I'm sorry, Brian Flores down at Miami, the head coach of the Dolphins. Okay, so when Kenny Stills came out and spoke out against the owner, Brian Flores kind of, came out with a side shot, I thought, uh, trying to kind of kiss up to the owner a little bit, saying, which is cool, but it's not really cool, but we understand who your employer is, right? But he came out with a shot saying that, Kenny should have checked with him first, should have checked with the owner first before he said anything. And my question is, will Brian Flores keep the locker room if he don't at least give the appearance that he's sticking beside his player? You know what I'm saying? Because I know me as a former player, if I didn't feel like my coach had my back, then it was like, whatever, hey, I can go somewhere else and play. And Kenny Stills is good enough and young enough that he can go somewhere else and play if he wants to play, if he wants to, but, being a professional like Kenny Stills is, I'm sure he'll go out and give his all. But, hey, will you keep the locker room? Will the players give that extra for you? You know what I'm saying? If they don't feel like you got their back. So as a coach, you better at least act like you got your players back, Brian Flores. I'm just telling you. Because I didn't think that was cool that he came out and said anything. Maybe he should have, maybe said, well, I haven't had a chance to talk to Kenny. But we'll work things out. This is a family matter. We're a family. This is a family matter. You know what I'm saying? Instead of coming out in the media like you automatically siding with, with the owner. Which we already know who employs you. We're not asking you to take no hit or nothing, but we're also not asking you to embarrass your player either. So Brian Flores, good luck keeping that locker room together. I don't know. If the players don't feel like you got their back, they're not going to give that extra for you. I can tell you that coming from a former player. All right. Next thing, man. These cats just all over Eric Reed, man. Last year he went through the PED testing, and I guess this year season, maybe what, 2 weeks in, he's already had like three. If you don't know what PED is, it's performance enhancing drugs. So he's had three performance enhancing drug tests. We 2 weeks in, man. You tested him like 8 times last year. So it's obvious that, it seems like the powers that be are out to get him or whatever it is. The conspiracy theorists can come out and say whatever, because it does look like, are you testing everybody else that much? You know what I'm saying? Does Matt Ryan get that many tests? Does Cam Newton get that many tests? You know what I'm saying? So Eric Reed has already said he's going to continue to take the knee. For until, for social injustice, which, salute to him. So he must be doing something right if the Carolina Panthers decided to take, whatever criticism. And I'm sure they're getting letters, because I live in North Carolina, so I can tell you, these people down here, some of them are crazy. So these fake patriots are going to send whatever letters saying they won't go to games anymore if they don't make him stand or they let him go. Then don't go to the game. Don't go to the game. There's a waiting list for your tickets, buddy. Believe that. So nobody's gonna cry if you don't want to go to the game because Eric Reed is taking a knee. So salute to Eric Reed. Keep doing what you do. And like I said before, or the last episode, stand for something or fall for anything. So Eric Reed is standing for something, and salute to him. All right, now NFL. Next thing, NFL partners with Jay-Z to produce the Super Bowl show and to do and a social justice partnership. So I think that's big. Jay-Z is one of the icons out here. Seems like fighting for racial equality, for Black empowerment. So I think that's big. Jay-Z turned down the Super Bowl show, I believe it was last year. He turned it down. So, Jay-Z has been a big supporter of Colin Kaepernick. So, what the NFL is trying to do should be done. And like I said before, these professional sports teams as a whole need to do more in the community, the communities that need them. It's easy to go to the communities with money. Try going to the communities that will never be able to touch you, will never be able to reach you. So, try doing that. That would be I think that would be a great step for all of the major sports leagues, especially like, basketball and football. Basketball is probably what, 75, 80% Black. So it would make sense to reach out, and I'm sure, 50, half or 70% of those guys that are playing in the NBA are from the community. You know what I'm saying? Like a poor community. So, I know my community wasn't rich, didn't have a whole lot of money. So that was the community that I wanted to reach out to the most, because they support you, and you kind of go off, and you don't come back, and they don't see you. So for me personally, for me to go off, I try to get back to see my mom as much because she still lives there. So I want her to be safe. So I get back as much as I can and try to see people down there, and that they always want to know how you're doing. So I try to get back, see my mom, see the people that I grew up with, and just let them know, it's appreciated, that you stood behind me, that you supported me. So I think it's great that the NFL is trying to do that. But again, NHL, NBA, all of you. Just like the guy in the White House was all over Baltimore. That has quieted down. If you're not noticed, that has quieted down. But instead of like the Baltimore Orioles owner should step up. Hey, the Baltimore Ravens owner should step up. We got sports teams here. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Or if you see that these particular so-called rat-infested places, get in there and help out. Everybody needs a hand. Everybody could use a little help sometime. You never know when you might need some help. You never know when you might make someone's day. So instead of talking about those communities, get out and help those communities. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's good for the NFL, like I said. But again, all the sports leagues, every one of them needs to get involved and help out the communities, that help them. And also that their play, like I said before, your players live there. So you want your players to have, safe trips to the arena, safe trips to the Coliseum. So, do something to help those communities improve and build. Bring businesses in there. I asked this question before. When was the last time you seen a Chick-fil-A in a black neighborhood? Black people eat chicken. Black people eat Chick-fil-A. So I mean, bring businesses in those communities. If you want to help those communities, I know I live in a community where I got a Chick-fil-A, I got a Wendy's, I got McDonald's, I got Burger King, I got them all right here. I got 3 grocery stores right here. So all the money stays in this particular area. Same thing should happen in the black community. It should be more than just a food line and a Burger King and a Wendy's. I don't want to go too deep into that. You know what I'm saying? This is my bad for good. That's just a touchy thing for me. So I'm not gonna go off into that. Okay. Next thing, of course, I like to dedicate a portion of my show to Dan Le Batard, because Dan Le Batard is not able to talk about the resident in the White House. I am. You know what I'm saying? But the markets have been down today because they're in fear of the recession that these tariffs have caused. Now, a lot of the right wingers like to talk about these handouts. They want to take away food stamps. They want to take away Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act, which Healthcare Act, which half of them don't even know the Affordable Health Care Act and the Affordable Care Act and Obamacare are the same thing. Half of them don't even know that. Half of the fools that was boycotting Nike don't know that Nike and Jordan are the same thing pretty much. So, but getting back to the resident of the White House now, for people that are on food stamps, one lady brought up a perfect point. Most of the people on food stamps and government assistance are white. So if you are one of those people and you are cutting your nose off to spite your face, then good for you. Good, you deserve everything you get. This man is not doing anything to help you, and you still gonna vote for him. I'm sorry, America, but the best president in my lifetime was Barack Obama. Bill Clinton was a good president. I don't remember much about Reagan. I've heard he was a good president on one side, but then I've heard, another side of that. I was young, so I don't really know, or didn't really pay attention to the politics then. But I was living in New York City at the time when Reagan was president. And I was younger, didn't really pay attention to the politics, and that was all I knew. But I'm sorry, America, but your best president ever, at least in my lifetime, was a black man. So Barack Obama, who tried to help and bring people together. And this guy in the White House now is definitely not trying to do that. Still taking forever to do something about an assault weapons ban. Okay, I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm all for having guns to protect your property. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. What is the problem with extensive background checks? I don't understand that part of it. And I'm against the assault rifles, but they're not going to do anything about that. So when in Rome, do as the Romans is what I say. So I'm not going to continue to ask you to do something about it. I'll do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Legally, I'll do what I have to do legally to protect myself. So, for all the people out there that's, the marching and singing stuff, man, forget about it. That they know eventually, your feet gonna get tired, your legs gonna get tired. You're gonna have to sit down, and you're gonna have to go back to work. They know that. So, my suggestion is, when in Rome, do as the Romans. You can read into that what you want to read into it. All right. That's it. I didn't mean to get too political, but I do what I want to do. This is my joint. All right. So shout out, like I said, to those that watch, hey, I appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? So I'll keep bringing it to you. As often as I can. When I got some time, I'm gonna jump on and do it. That's the good thing about doing your own show. You can do it when you do it, and I'm not owned by no network. So I'm saying, so I don't have no sponsors. I'm my own sponsor, so I do what I want to do. All right, I have no overhead other than my house. All right, but it's been love, man. Thank you for tuning in again. Make somebody smile. All right. Stand for something or fall for anything. All right. This your man, Gypsy Hustle, aka the Happy Hatter, aka Mr. Make You Smile. I'm out, and do that. All right. Do that today. Make somebody smile. All right. Peace.